if we do go to a game 3, that won't be tonight, but that will be a boss rando with a choice of major, minor, chozo, or full. And it looks like we've gotten started here.
Always nice to see the runs already synced up. Don't need to spend time doing that. We got action right away. Of course, not much to see early game. You know the drill. Get to morph. What's going to be at morph? You have any predictions?
Yeah, I hate to say it, probably an E-tank.
Well, let's see. Last rando I did, it was a reserve tank, and you have to pick it up for the planet to wake up, which was fun.
And this is a Ponk being the 2 seed here, Zeb being the 7 seed. Ponk going undefeated in the regular season. Zeb with only a loss to number 1 seed Kip. So, this could be a really good matchup. Ponk, a long time Super Metro Randomizer runner. Zeb a little bit newer. Hey, there's that reserve tank.
Yep, of course, they do have to pick up whatever item is at morph in order for the planet to wake up. And in this case, it may not be an item they want. It will help, maybe, if they are doing hell runs, but for now, they will be down an item for at least a bit. Of course, there's morph in the ceiling where it has to be, so, pretty standard so far.
Yep, both doing a nice job getting the D boost. And already finding power bombs, so that's always a nice thing to find right away. Don't have to do the power bomb search.
Yeah, early power bombs is really nice. It even opens up a lot of early minor checks to find supers, so the runners will have to keep in mind. We've seen some runners skip some of the early checks, like behind morph or the 230 missiles, and that can be the first intended super pack, so we'll see if anybody skips an important item there.
Yeah, worst case scenario is the Billy Mays possibility, or potentially a forced meme route to the pipe. But we'll see if either one decides to do a meme route, in fact. Both are going to at least check this minor round, and they find supers.
Well, so that's the end of any shenanigans there. They have all the ammo they need, technically. We'll see. Well, all the ammo they need up to Mother Brain, at least.
Yeah, and Zeb is going to do meme route.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he is a fan of the meme route, so... And he does have plenty of tools to not die to the side hoppers, so we're going to see him do that.
And you'll notice the way he did the side hoppers is probably the most efficient way. You can kill him with one super shot and one pea shooter shot.
Yep, of course, Zeb. Very experienced runner, especially with meme route, like we said. Does know all the tricks he needs, and he is on his way into Pink Brinstar.
And of course, the main possible drawback here, another reserve tank. Oof. If Ponk finds speed booster before he gets to Big Pink, that'll be a huge advantage for Ponk. He will be able to check the waterway item. Pretty much not going to happen for Zeb unless we find it in the wave gate.
Luckily for Zeb, the Bomb Torizo is just an E-tank, so not going to need to worry about it yet. If he finds speed early enough, he can theoretically just backtrack to waterway if he so chooses. He's got a few different things he can do, but we'll see if he finds speed in the first place.
And with only 5 power bomb packs, we're not going to be able to go to Gauntlet right now, so Ponk just going to keep going. He can go in, but he can check the item, but he can't get out, so not a big fan of that check, so I'm going to just keep right on going. Ideally for Zeb, the idea is to be able to have enough power bombs by the time you get up there to check that Gauntlet item, so we'll see if he gets that second power bomb pack.
Yeah, having an otherwise pretty empty Pink Brinstar is kind of ideal, actually, for Zeb. Generally, if you're doing meme route, you want all the items to be condensed in the ship, or at least one big item. So if you find a lot of items in Pink Brinstar, then you're kind of... there's less of a chance of those big items being in the wreck ship, basically. So this is looking ideal for Zeb, but he does need a couple more ammo packs and preferably a good way to get across the moat. Currently, he only has the CWJ, which is... He can do it, but it's not fantastic.
Yeah, you don't do meme route with the intention of going to wreck ship early if you can't at least do the CWJ.
Luckily for
third
Zeb,
reserve.
there's a third reserve. But luckily for Zeb, we did see a powerbomb under the bridge on Ponk's screen, so he will have that second one to check Gauntlet. Meanwhile, just needs a powerbomb to get down to the bridge. Smartly remembers there are some fire fleas in this room next to the bridge, which he can get a powerbomb from guaranteed. And he won't have to go searching.
And Pog picks up his second reserve tank. Probably not going to pick up the third one when he sees it. No, it's
I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was the fourth reserve for a second. Grapple beam is really nice for him, though. You know, that is an item to get him across moat.
Absolutely.
So he will have a much easier time now. And
also,
there's a second powerbomb.
It also takes away an advantage for Ponk. Ponk, known for doing the early X-ray check. He will, of course, still do the early X-ray check, but now he's got with that grapple beam. Zeb will do it too when he comes back down Red Tower from the wreck ship, assuming that he does indeed go to wreck ship first. Okay, Ponk had 15 power bombs. Decides doesn't need any more. 15 is always a good number. Gives you crystal flash ammo, and it gives you the all-important enough power bombs to get through Torian if you don't get ice beam and without having to refill.
Sorry, I'm back. My internet is not fantastic here, but everything's fine. Don't worry. And so Zeb has all but finished his Brinstar cleanup. We'll just be heading back up to Criteria, and we'll see if he actually decides to check Gauntlet. We've been talking about it, but doesn't actually have to check it. He could theoretically just go straight to wreck ship. Although,
with this many power bombs, I think he'll do it. We'll see.
Yeah, the best item it can be for him right now is Charge Beam. Charge Beam and a way to get into Meridia, since it can't be a suit, so...
Yeah, Speed Booster would also be a really good one, since he is going to the wreck ship, and we do have that reserve tank that you can't get to without.
Interesting that he's actually checking the back of Gauntlet. This feels like a weird check to me, but it could be. He does see it's just missiles, so it's more likely if he is checking Gauntlet that he'll just exit the way he came instead of going all the way through.
Oh, absolutely.
So he did get some information, but I don't know if it's worth necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, ammo, it's early enough that you don't need a ton of ammo, and he has the power bombs already. I mean, it would have been nice to get some more supers, but, you know.
We do see Ponk picking up that third reserve tank, although I don't think it was intentional. So yeah, I don't know if he picked up the other ones.
Yeah, one of those unintentional face plants.
Has he picked up all three? I missed the second one.
I think he picked up the second. No, I don't think. I don't know if he picked up the second one.
We'll find out eventually. I mean, he has. There have been 6 E-tanks or 6 tanks, so Cathedral Missile is in logic, technically. Of course, they have power bombs, but.
But yeah, all the hell runs in logic. Only 3 for most of the hell runs at this level with the playoffs.
Oh really? We see Ponk doing the early X-ray anyways, because of course he is.
It's maybe a little faster. He does decide to do just the grapple beam for the last bit, because that's probably at the end. I'm sure that's faster, since the deboost method takes you backwards a little bit, and then you have to go forward again. But just an E-tank.
Yeah, I imagine he's not too upset to see an E-Tank, especially since he has grapple beams, so he knows Zeb can also check the item.
Yep, exactly.
But obviously not what he was hoping for. And so we have route divergence.
Yeah, and I suspect Ponk will go ahead and do Norfair after this. Some runners will choose not to do hell runs and go back up to the wreck ship, but with this many E-Tanks and Crystal Flash ammo, there's really no reason to do that. And we see Spring Ball.
Yeah, Spring Ball is a decent item. Obviously, it allows some movement tech, especially in Lower Norfair, and theoretically Sueless Meridia, which they do have grapple beam for, so they are very close to it being in logic.
Just an ice beam and a high jump boot away.
Yep, I think it can be just high jump because I don't. Is ice beam still required? Actually, yeah, it would be to actually get to Bot Wound.
Yeah, to get to Bot Wound. To get to Mama Turtle, then you just need the high jump and the Spring Ball. Or high jump and ice.
But regardless, that is almost open to them in logic. But obviously they will not be doing that if they don't have to. Although, if anybody was going to do it without it being required, it would be Ponk. Ponk is a big fan of the suitless play.
And a big fan of saving that wreck ship for last. So if we see Ponk get all of the suitless items down here in Norfair, good chance that he's just gonna go for it. Oh, and Zeb missing that grapple.
Luckily, he didn't actually hit the grapple block, so it won't disappear. Not that it matters too much. He's got plenty of other grapple blocks, but is something.
Ponk about to head into his crate fight.
So in this situation, where you're Zeb, and you can technically just jump across these platforms, but you do have grapple. Do you use grapple?
I try not to. It's a little faster to just jump, but sometimes I have to revert. If I fall in the ocean a time or two, then maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I missed the first jump a lot. Meanwhile, Ponk getting a really nice quick kill. The 2 missile 3 super method, slightly faster technically, but not significantly, and just rewarded with an E-Tank, so not great items yet. And that is, once again, good for Zeb, because the more items we see from Ponk that aren't important, the higher chance that Zeb will find something important. And that is the ideal situation for Zeb.
Okay, Zeb heading to his Phantoon fight.
He does have plenty of missiles for Dopplers. He said, like I said, I don't know if I said this on broadcast, but he was in my stream earlier when I was beating his any percent time. He was talking about Phantoon. He said he wasn't comfortable with the 2 rounds, so we'll see if he can get a nice 3 round in here.
Good start.
Nice job hitting the mid pattern. Didn't get a great doppel, but still got a few missiles in. That one was a lot better.
This many E-Tanks. I like this here that Ponk's going to go ahead and check the Ice Beam item first. That way, if High Jump Boots is an E-Tank, he saves a little bit of time on not having to do any kind of refilling.
And there's a 3 round from Zeb.
Very nicely done.
Well done. Looks like Crate E-Tank was just another E-Tank. I don't know if we mentioned that. So, once again, not ideal.
And another E-Tank at Ice Beam. Well, these are really safe hell runs for Ponk.
At this point, I wonder if Ponk is just thinking full-on RBO, Lower Norfair. Like, if he finds high jump, he might be considering it with this much energy.
Yeah, I don't like the ammo for it though. Only one Crystal Flash with only 10 supers, and you know you have to kill Ridley. And right now, right now the Ridley fight would not be a good one. But if he does pick up enough ammo and maybe a few good movement items, yeah, I can see Ponk doing that.
Just one thing you have to consider when we have such a experienced RBO runner like Ponk.
And Zeb picking up Screw Attack, one of the items that you would want to have if you could, if you were to do an RBO, Lower Norfair.
Yep. Not what Zeb's looking for, though. He's looking for either a suit or... I guess there's a few items that can be good. A suit, charge beam, or something to get him into Meridia would be
Speed or
ideal.
ice, yep.
Even high jump would be nice, even if it's not what he's looking for. Kind of for the same reason why Screw Attack is nice. Just makes movement easier. He will have to do either a powerbomb jump or a spring ball jump up here. It's like he is going for the powerbomb jump. Looks like he's laying the powerbomb too high. You want it to be right there, like right at the surface of the water.
Yep, right on that water line.
But he gets it without too much trouble.
Yeah, that's probably why he grabbed that extra powerbomb pack earlier when he came into the ship. Just to have a little more ammo, a little more leeway. End up not needing it, but that extra safety is nice to have and takes the pressure off actually getting it.
Yeah, I think we've all been in that situation with not 20 power bombs, and it's not great. Speaking of not great, X-ray scope is once again not what Zeb is looking for. It could be helpful down the line.
If he gets plasma in charge before he heads over to Meridia, then he can use it to do the old microwave strats on the bosses, but it only saves a small amount of time. Ponk is almost certainly not going to get that X-ray scope unless we see a suit here that Ponk decides he has to come and get.
Yeah, and Zeb can actually only check gravity. He cannot... Well, he can check the waterway. Yeah. Not the waterway, the reserve item, but he can't pick it up. So if that is something good, which it might be, not sure yet.
Because we're still not seeing a whole lot on Ponk's side in Norfair.
Yeah, Ponk has found... Nothing. Of the 18 energy and reserve tanks, he has found 12.
Oh, and Zeb is leaving. I don't like this decision.
Is he gonna like... Never mind, he's not going to. I was gonna wonder if he was like Crystal Flash grapple clipping into gravity. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I think Azure did it in a door rando once to try to look for G4.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times.
Update on Ponk's energy. He is up to 13 out of 18.
That is a lot of E-tanks. I mean, I usually have the philosophy of keep grabbing E-tanks until I get Varia suit or until I've done all the hell runs that I can do. But I mean, wow, this is so many E-tanks right now.
Yeah, judging by his routing through Bubble Mountain, he may be looking to clear Bubble Mountain and then go to Croc. And then potentially, if he finds that high jump, just go straight to Lower Norfair. High jump or Varia, really.
Yeah, he'll do high jump if he finds Varia, he's going to Lower Norfair, no question.
Even gravity might spur him on, honestly.
And another E-tank at Wave Beam. So Zeb leaving the wreck ship, I'm willing to bet there's something there. And he's leaving it behind. You know, we see Azure do this a lot where he leaves the wreck ship early, but you know, when he leaves the wreck ship early in those situations, usually it's because he's found something that makes it reasonable to think that maybe the rest of it doesn't have anything. Zeb didn't find anything in the wreck ship, so a little bit, I question the idea of leaving it at that point.
Obviously, Zeb doesn't know that Ponk has found literally all energy for the past 20 minutes, basically. Yep. Or 10 minutes, not 20. He's only been playing for 20.
Zeb's gonna find out soon.
He's gonna start finding all the energy and probably be pretty disappointed. But there are still a few items Ponk has yet to check.
Well, there might be something here at the Norfair Reserve Tank. Spacer.
Well, it's
Okay,
an item.
it's item. Our tracker Plumps, shout out to Plumps, gets to click a button now.
Yep. He's just kind of sitting here for a bit. Ponk is
He's
having a deep introspection at the moment.
Wouldn't it be funny if Ponk just went up to the wreck ship at this point?
Actually, I think Ponk is just frozen.
Oh, he is. Yeah, that's because the thing's not blinking.
I wouldn't have been surprised if he was just kind of sitting at Spacer for a while. So if I had to guess, he's going down to Croc.
That's what I would do if I were him.
I think that's what most people would do in this situation. And Ponk is a fan of Croc, I believe.
Yeah, I'm guessing
he'll do it if he has
to. I think there's an internet issue going on here, but can't say for sure. Based on the IRC client here. So hopefully he'll get that cleared up before too long.
Is Ponk even streaming? Oh, he's not. He is no longer live on Twitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think his internet's out. So we'll just hope he can get that fixed. Nothing we can do about it right now until he resolves it. In the meantime, we'll enjoy what Zeb's got for us. But unfortunately, for some of these checks we've already seen, so we're going to see a lot of the repeat checks of what Ponk already did here. All right, looks like Punk's got his stream back up again.
He found gravity.
Croc having the goods, or at least a good.
And like I said, this actually this makes Lava Dive a lot easier because he can do a gravity jump theoretically. So there is still a possibility that Ponk just takes this straight to Lower Norfair if he finds good ammo at Croc.
Yeah, I still think his ammo's a little bit low to try and do that play, but you know, it is Ponk. He has been known to do crazier things.
And once again, my point still stands. Ponk could very well go straight down. Because he can't go into Meridia either, so
he can get to Mama Turtle. He can get to one item there.
Yeah, I think progression has to be either at Gravity, which Zeb unfortunately skipped, or Mama Turtle.
One or the other.
Ponk's doing it.
Or it could be Shack Tool.
Ponk is going down.
We got the grapple beam.
Still farming. He's good.
God. Okay. I don't like this ammo for this. If he had, say, Charged Plasma, then I would be, that'd be a whole different story, because then you could have a pretty decent Ridley fight and have plenty of ammo left over.
Yeah, I would like to see him at least check. Okay, he is going to check this. The Crocomire Powerbomb. Just a missile is not great. That might turn him off, actually. We'll see.
And to answer the question, yeah, Ice could have been a Gauntlet, but it was Spring Ball. So.
Well, we'll see what he decides to do. He did spend a lot of time farming to just bail. Especially since he is such a experienced rando runner. He knows how much ammo he needs, or how much health he needs. But it looks like he is just gonna bail. He's thought better of it.
Yeah, and I think this is the right decision. I mean, it's an awfully risky play in a situation where You know, it's game one. You know,
Don't need to pull out all the stops yet.
if he had more ammo, though, I think he would have gone for it. And if he had more ammo, then I think it'd be a perfectly good call to do it.
I wonder if he has any idea that Zeb did meme round.
No, there's no way he knows.
I want to say he thinks that Zeb didn't, because I think if he thought he did, then he would definitely go down to Lower Norfair, because he would assume that he was so far behind after finding nothing particularly good at in Norfair. So that would maybe make him play more risky and go down.
And actually, we have 3 checks we can do here. We can do Mama Turtle, we can check the Sand Pit, and we can check Shack Tool.
Yeah. You think Ponk is gonna do all 3?
No. I think he'll do the Mama Turtles check and then head up to the wreck ship. That's what I think he's gonna do. The Sand Pit is slow to get back from if you do it, and then of course Shack Tool being the ultimate slow check.
Well, Shack Tool with this, there's Ice Beam, so
okay, that changes things. He could actually
that does change things.
Yeah, he could absolutely do a full clear Meridian now.
Yeah, I was gonna say Shack Tool is actually really difficult to enter with just Grapple Beam and High Jump. You have to do a pretty tricky jump into the
yeah, with High Jump it's not too bad. Without High Jump, then it's really tricky.
Well, he doesn't need to worry about it. If he does want to do Shack Tool, he can theoretically just Ice Clip. But I somehow doubt he is going to be doing that. I think Shack Tool's a lot better than people make it out to be in Chozo, but not in full Rando. Mm-hmm. Although,
well, in Chozo, there's so many fewer places to check in the first place, so any location is going to be higher value.
Although Ponk has picked up a lot of energy, so there is a higher chance that Shack Tool is something, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah,
not much, but
a lot of items left on the table here. Ponk now at 36 supers, real good ammo for Ridley. Although if he were to go down with that Varia suit, I would really want to see 40 supers, so you get that Crystal Flash after you're done with the fight. Or at least 35, so the drops could get you up there.
Yeah, unlike Vanilla, there isn't a guaranteed E-Tank after Ridley. So
and in fact, with only 3 E-Tanks left, with only 3 E-Tanks left, there's a really good chance it's not an E-Tank.
Yeah, so as much as I was hyping up Ponk, he did make the correct play, not playing so risky. I just wanted to see it. You know how it is. I would have liked to seen Ponk maybe like save scum the Sandpit, and if he finds like Charge Varia, he could still theoretically reset and just check it on his way down.
I think he'll just do that the normal way. He'll go ahead and kill Dragon, come back down to the Sandpit, and then he'll have to make a decision whether he wants to do Plasma and/or Shack Tool. Although right now,
Zeb is in a bit of a pickle here. He needs to actually get up to this ledge and Crystal Flash. Luckily, he has the ammo. It looked like he was stuck in the lava and trying to wall jump up that ledge, but because of the geometry of the ledge, wasn't able to make it.
And a very short work of bot wound Ponk makes. And Speed Booster. That's a big find.
Yeah, Speed Booster High Jump is really nice to have. We'll see if Ponk goes for the full halfie. He is definitely capable of doing it. A little bit tougher without wave. You have to shoot at a really precise time to hit the door. But Ponk gets it. This looks good. Oh, not quite. Might have had a frame or two to activate the spark, but it's a tough trick. Not too bad, though. Ponk will have to take some 60 damage spike hits, but he should be fine. He's got plenty of energy.
He's got 11 E-Tanks. And continues to pick up super missiles. I like this. don't know where charge beam is, and in a major minor, there's so many more locations to check that you don't want to be searching for charge if you can avoid it.
Yeah, he is definitely not betting on finding charge at this point. Obviously, if he finds it, he'll most definitely take it. It's not that far. He's not that far into ammo collection yet, but he would like to just get to 60 supers quickly. He almost has enough missiles, just needs one more pack.
Yeah, getting that 40-60 minimum would be a good start, and then you can maybe get a few extra safeties if you want them.
Theoretically, if he is hunting for ammo, he could check Gauntlet and get those 10 missiles in the back. So, obviously, he doesn't know those are missiles. He's probably hoping they're supers at the moment. Also, looks like he's just going to go for the grapple kill, so taking it a little bit safer. Not going to risk dying to chain damage without that Varia suit. He will take a lot of damage from Dragon per hit, so just wants to take it safe.
And gets a quick grapple kill, which works very quickly, very nicely.
We'll see if he can get Spike Suit. Only attempted it once. Kind of sad. But...
Oh. And Plasma Beam.
Well, that's nice. But, does need that Charge Beam.
So the question here is, do you go straight to the wreck ship, or do you do any of the other Meridia checks before? We have 3 Meridia checks. We have the Sand Pit, we have Shack Tool, and of course we have Plasma Beam. And that Plasma Beam helps him a lot, because now he can do that Plasma check much easier. Had he done it without the Plasma Beam, he would have been forced to do some crazy short charges to get all the pirates killed. And I think we may have lost the internet again here.
Yep. Luckily, he's a ways away from any major items, so we'll get to see. That's kind of why I like. I would have liked save scumming the Sand Pit, because he would have, like I said, if it was a good item, he could just go straight back down to it, and if it wasn't, he could just go either up to Plasma or straight up to the wreck ship, or even now in an Norfair. Now that he has better movement items and more ammo. I'm not over the suitless play. Sorry.
Well, yeah, his ammo looks a lot better for that. I could definitely see him doing it at this point, with this many E-tanks. Zeb gonna pick up his gravity suit.
Chat bringing up a good point that the Spazer Plasma combination has resulted in Ponk's internet's demise.
Oh, there you go.
Clearly, that's the case. So I've been in this situation that Ponk is. What's probably happening is his internet just cuts out for a bit, but OBS has to basically reboot your entire stream, which takes a while.
Yep.
And so since he doesn't really have time to fix it manually...
There it is. Oh, just in time to see the next item check.
Yep. Highly unlikely he checked Plasma. And there's bombs, which isn't great.
I think worth picking up, but yeah, I mean, it's not what he's looking for sure.
Honestly, the super missile right next to it is probably more valuable to him right now.
That up too.
He has bombs. He just picked them up.
He just picked up bombs. You can use them. Okay, you're Zeb. You've just got high jump boots and gravity suit. I guess you have to go to Meridia. I mean, you've already bailed on the wreck ship. Ponk, you just picked up bombs. You don't need to use power bombs for that.
Well, Ponk maybe not used to having bombs yet.
It happens.
And you can see on the minimap he did not check Plasma, because we would have seen him. Well,
and it looks
he didn't
like
check Plasma because he would have had to backtrack all the way. He can't really check Sandpit and then Plasma, or can't check Plasma and then Sandpit without going all the way around.
But yeah, you have to go. It's a much longer check. I don't think he had enough time for that. So it looks like he's just gonna head to the wreck ship.
Maybe.
Or unless he goes down. Oh, baby!
I'm honestly surprised he didn't at least take the refill. I guess he can take Nutella refill.
Yeah, he's
That's
got a few
probably better.
places. And he's probably going to want to farm up anyway to get those supers up. He still only has 1 Crystal Flash, but that 45 supers is really good for this because with 45 supers, he has 5 leeway to kill Ridley and still have enough supers to do a Crystal Flash after the Ridley fight. And that's not even counting the drops that he'll get.
You have to remember that Ponk is used to doing RBO with 7 E-tanks and 1 reserve, and he has 11 E-tanks and I believe 3 reserves. So
at least 2, possibly 3, yeah. So
that being said, he does not have Screw Attack.
No.
And does not have Wave Beam or Charge.
Does have Plasma, so you can clip through some of the enemies. But having a Charge Beam or a Screw Attack would have helped. It would help him a lot.
Right, and he also, once again, like we said, does not have the guaranteed refill after Ridley.
And in fact, yeah, like I said, there's only 3 E-tanks left. There's a really good chance that it's not E-tank behind Ridley.
I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that refill. Honestly, I think I would have just liked the... I guess I see why he did that. He did that just to refill his ammo, and then is refilling his health at the Nutella refill.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Honestly, I think I would have liked to just see the refill on his way, like the northern route to Lower Norfair, if that makes sense. I don't know what the room is called. Like the room, if you're in Bubble Mountain, the room that's straight down.
What? Where? Okay, now
like if you're going up Bubble Mountain, the intended route, you have to like go like around that circle of rooms.
Oh
and,
no,
like, the first one.
Sure, but I'm confused. Oh, he wants this power bomb pack. Okay. I was trying to figure out what he's doing here. He wants the power bomb pack. Oh, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, he will do it. I imagine he's doing a Crystal Flash right after the lava dive. Well, actually, he doesn't really need to with gravity. We'll see.
Not only, yeah, because he'll be able to do a gravity jump that'll be a little bit quicker. He will lose more energy, of course, because he doesn't have Barrier Suit. It looks like Zeb's just going to also do Meridia before going back up to the wreck ship, which for him makes sense. Since he abandoned those two locations in the wreck ship, he's going to last location them almost for sure. So he better hope that he runs into Varia, either a Plasma or a Shack Tool. As I suspect he'll check those items before heading back to the wreck ship.
Right. He has cleared out all of Norfair, I believe. I don't think he missed anything.
No, we got everything.
So in his head, it's either Varia's either in the place he skipped or in a less ideal location in Meridia. So I imagine he'll check the closer items in Meridia first. Oh, Ponk. Wall jumping a little bit too high for the... Yeah, also, why is he wall jumping in the first place?
I don't know. You got high jump. You can do this without any wall jumps if you do it late enough. There you go. Yeah, the way the gravity jump works is that... So you start out with a higher speed to a slower, and then... Whereas without the gravity suit, it's a lower to a higher speed. And the longer you wait on that pause, the higher you're actually gonna jump. And so if you can pause late, or if you can jump late enough after you hit the pause button, you can actually make the jump all the way up.
I think you can make the jump all the way without high jump if you like pause at the exact right time. I'm not totally sure though.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I've never actually done it, so.
Alright. Can Zeb redeem Ponk's full halfie? Doesn't look like it. That wasn't a great downgrade. Unfortunate, but it is a hard trick after all.
And he is going to check this GT item.
Well, he wants the refill more than anything.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. He gets the gate glitch quick enough that he'll be able to get that refill without using that reserve tank, which is ideal. Although
he's going to use a couple of reserves just to be safe. So he's down to 220, it looked like. And
Meanwhile,
there
Zeb
he
gonna
is.
do Dragon.
Unfortunately, he doesn't totally have the ideal routing since he did have to take the refill. There's space jump, which is actually really nice for him.
That'll help him a lot.
But he had to enter the refill before checking the item, so now he has to go back into the refill again to exit. Or actually, he doesn't, now that he has space jump. So he can make it out now without bomb jumping. Or doing the jump from the... Doesn't have screw attack anyways, he can't do the jump from the item, from the health refill.
You can, you have to back into the door a little bit using...
Well, he doesn't have screw attack to break the blocks.
Well, what you do is you power bomb the blocks, and then if you back into the door far enough, you can get enough run speed with the speed booster and the high jump boost to do it.
Really?
Yeah. I
did not know that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was doing that until it came up in the SMZ3, because that's not a refill room in SMZ3. So if you're gonna do it there, you have to do it that way.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, Zeb gonna get his plasma beam.
And here's where Ponk has the more difficult part. He doesn't get to just do RBO strats because he doesn't have screw attack.
Right.
So he does have to kill at least some of the pirates. He's just going to jump around this one.
Ooh, or try to anyway.
Luckily, with gravity, he takes drastically less damage from the enemies here than he normally would. So he can't afford to take a hit. But he looks like he will have to use his reserves in this room.
And he did forget to jump through the door with that space jump. It's going to cost him a little bit of time. He's going to need to get to a safe spot in order to do a crystal flash pretty soon.
Is he just going to let his reserves go manually?
Yeah, I think he's got enough in those reserves that he can get all the way to Fire Fleas where there's no heat damage, so he can just do the crystal flash there, and I think that's really safe.
Yeah, he didn't want to, but he had to. Unfortunately, not having full reserves is less than ideal, especially if he doesn't find an E-Tank here. Although he can just Crystal Flash and it refills. Luckily, he does find that E-Tank, which is really good for him right now.
Yeah, 12 E-Tanks.
And at this point, Ridley almost has to be an E-Tank. It's either an E-Tank or a beam. I guess also
could be
there's
charge,
more
could
reserve.
be wave. Yeah, or the reserve, yeah.
Yeah, Spring Ball, Speed, and X-Ray are all collected by Zeb, and it can't be Varya, obviously. Because Ponk is doing a naughty and doing things out of logic. Did he take damage from that guy? That was sick if he didn't. Looks like he did, though. And so Zeb has finished up his normal Meridia adventures. Now just needs to do the fun item cleanup.
Is not going to pick up those bombs. We'll see if he goes to Plasma and or Shack Tool.
Kind of surprised he didn't pick up the super, honestly.
Yeah,
like I said, I think that's more valuable than the bombs, really.
Absolutely.
Especially since he doesn't know where charge is.
And these sandfall rooms are just awful if you don't have space jump. At least Zeb has high jump, makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah. He does not have space jump for this, but he's able to just jump up. It's a little bit tricky, but he got it. He's alright.
And now we get to wait.
Meanwhile, Ponk will have to... I imagine he is going to do a Crystal Flash before entering Ridley. So he will want to farm up back up to 30 supers, ideally.
If he can get to 40 and still have 30 left. Let's see how
far he wants 40, so he can Crystal Flash and then have enough to kill Ridley. Oh, he's... Okay, he's getting health bombed now.
Yeah, if you do this fast and efficient enough, you will slowly regain your health. That's not really what you want. You want to get your ammo to where you want it, and then do your Crystal Flash. Oh.
That was sick.
Oh, and there's Various suit as Shack Tool. Ponk doing a little bit of pause buffering. Oh, when was your last save, Ponk? Did he save?
He saved. He saved in Wasteland or
Okay.
Keanu Shaft.
But things got really interesting here now. Zeb
Can we
with the
talk
Various
about?
suit.
Can we talk about how Varia at Shack Tool isn't the most interesting that's happening right now?
I know, right?
This is like the first time this has happened, like in full rando, and meanwhile, we're having something even more interesting happen as Punk's internet goes out again. Alas.
Modern technology at work.
Something. German internet. Oh, maybe his internet didn't go out. It's just not great at the moment. He'll be okay though.
So now, if you're Zeb, when you head down to Lower Norfair, as he's going to go to right now, do you check GT in the hopes that you get Charge Beam?
I think he checks GT just because it's not that out of the way. And plus, he doesn't have very much health, so we could just get the refill as well. And just avoid other refills on his way down. But I think he is mostly just looking for ammo.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good ammo. 3 more supers and he'd be good to go. 2 more missile packs and 2 more supers and he'd be good to go. Now, of course, the 55-55 is awfully tight. You would have to refill after opening all the doors. But definitely doable.
I forgot what I was going to say.
He does know there are 2 missile packs in the back of Gauntlet if he wants that extra safety.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. Like I said, I imagine well, maybe he'll refill. Turned off ice. So yeah, he's just going to do some refilling.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get a full-on all the way up to the 10 E-tanks that he has, but he's going to refill just a little bit. Just make that gravity jump just that much safer. And suddenly Ponk's in a Ridley fight.
Ponk did not mess up the Crystal Flash this time. And now he's on to Ridley. Luckily, unlike RBO, he has gravity, so Ridley will not do near as much damage. Still a lot, considering he has a constant health drain, but it is a lot more manageable, and he can afford to take a few hits before getting critically low. Looks like Ridley's going to be down with these last super missiles, or he's done already. Look at that. So Zeb already has Phantoon down.
Yep.
I think Ponk is still in the lead, depending on how fast he can escape Lower Norfair. And there's the reserve.
A 4th reserve tank. Wow.
Remember, Zeb also has a lot more leeway to check ammo in Lower Norfair. Ponk does not have quite as much luxury.
No, he really doesn't. He's gonna want to get up to get another 3 super drops here. And shout out to the Zephos dropping a power bomb when he wants super missiles.
Yeah, those guys don't drop power bombs unless you don't want them to.
Pretty much.
It's confirmed.
Yeah, so talk about where Charge Beam is. Okay, yeah, absolutely. The Charge Beam could be in the Wreck Ship Reserve. And yeah, Chad also pointing out Waterway. Completely forgot about Waterway. Could be there too.
Oh, right. I forgot about Waterway. Yeah, at this point, there aren't a lot of places that Charge Beam can be, and yet I don't think anybody's going to find it.
We're down to Waterway, Plasma, and the 2 Wreck Ship locations. I believe that is
Ponk
it.
Is going to be doing a Crystal Flash somewhere in this room. Not the best room to do it, but since he has so much energy, he's not in a bad position.
And Zeb's skipping GT, so he is not going to get not going to get Space Jump, and is committing to full on to charge, because at this point, if you're really wanting that charge, or full on to not getting charge.
Not a huge fan of where he did Crystal Flash, but he makes it work. And he's got plenty of health. More health than you normally have in RBO.
Oh yeah, he should be able to get out from here.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he checks a few of the minor items on his way out. He has the ability to.
Yep.
Depends on how this room goes, really. If he takes some unwanted hits, he might not. He might just leave. There's one, but not too bad. He's still got 70 tanks plus 3 reserves. Or at least most of 3 reserves.
And Zeb picking up some extra missiles, knowing that he's full on the chargeless plan. I always like it when runners pick up those missiles in this situation. It drives me nuts when you're confirmed on the chargeless plan. You just start skipping missiles. Every 3 missile packs you pick up is the equivalent of a super, and that's 1 less super you need to pick up.
Yeah, you see Ponk going left, picking up a missile. He doesn't know, but we know that there's 2 missiles at the back of Gauntlet, so theoretically he's 2 super packs from go mode if he checks Gauntlet. And he's still got plenty of minor items in Wreck Ship. Plus, he might check right side supers since it's right there. Interestingly, he didn't check the 3 Musketeers missile.
Yeah, that's not too far out of the way. With as much air as he still has, he would be fine to do it.
He might have been worried about taking a hit in that room, and that could have, plus the extra health he would have taken getting the missile, might not have been very comfortable. But regardless. So who do you think's in the lead here? It's actually really close.
I would put Ponk a little bit in the lead now that he's managed to get through all his RBO shenanigans, but not by much. It's really going to come down to who's able to find the ammo first. Because, like you said, I don't think we're finding Charge Beam.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if Ponk checks all of Wreck Ship. So one kind of underrated thing, one underrated advantage Ponk has is you won't actually need to do any menuing for Turian, whereas theoretically if Zeb wants to do Zeb skip and I guess it can't do stand up, but he would have to turn off screw attack to do it comfortably, depending on if he's comfortable with the down back or the speed Zeb skip.
Sure.
Whereas Ponk doesn't. I was gonna say stand up, but I guess they can't really do stand up anyways, can they?
And blind checking the main street item, and unfortunately for Ponk, it's just powerbomb packs, not what he's looking for.
Yeah, he has already checked most of these items.
Yeah,
so.
I think he already got the crab super location as well.
He does have alpha and beta power bombs.
Yep.
Which, if those are supers, he's in a very good spot.
And he's got the ocean missiles location and the moat missiles location. So he's got quite a few ammo places to look on the way.
I believe moat missile was just a missile, which at this point he will take, obviously, but.
Well, I would say you should take it. I like I said, I see enough runners in ammo mode skip missiles that. Although I don't think Ponk's that type of player. I think he would pick up all of the ammo that he can find. Oh, and just alpha power bombs are actually power bombs.
This is looking a little bit sketchy. Gotta say. I do wonder what Zeb's gonna do, because if he goes to Gauntlet, if he goes through Gauntlet again, he's at 40, or he's at 60, 45.
Not quite enough.
So he would need 2 more super missile packs.
I don't think he grabbed the crab supers. I think that was a super pack, so maybe he'll pick that up.
Yeah, crab supers was a super pack. Interestingly, he's not checking a prison powerbomb.
That's a slow one to get, though. I don't blame him for that one. This one's much quicker. He'll probably pick up the Frank Z missiles.
Ponk is very happy to see that super missile right there.
Yeah. Still not quite with enough ammo, though.
No, but he's in a. Once you get to 50, you're pretty comfortable, because there's still a few more things to check.
And just regular missiles there, but Zeb's inching closer.
All right, so once again, he knows the 2 missiles in Gauntlet, so he just needs 1 super pack, technically. 70-50 is enough. It's not comfortable. Don't get me wrong.
Very, very, very not comfortable.
But it is doable.
He probably will. Like I said, he's got the crab supers location. He should get a super pack there. We saw a super pack in one of those locations in the alpha beta P
I
area.
think Zeb's in the lead actually.
So close.
Just barely, because Ponk has to do this. Andy has a little bit less ammo, assuming Zeb picks up the crab supers.
Yeah, I wonder if Zeb's regretting not picking up those supers over by the bombs that we talked about earlier.
I imagine he is. Like I said, I think those were more valuable than the bombs.
I think they really were.
Like, that could very well be a difference maker, just not taking the 10-15 seconds to pick those up. Could cost him another 20-30 seconds doing another ammo check. This really comes down to seconds the further you go into the tournament. The runners are just all so good, like, both execution and routing wise, that you can't afford to make little mistakes even, because they add up.
Zeb sees those crab supers. I suspect he'll go get them.
Yeah, now that he's seen it, he's definitely getting it. And I wonder what else he'll check. He'll probably check alpha and beta.
Yeah, I think that would make the most sense.
Yeah, so he'll have 65-55 then, which is actually pretty comfortable. He's got 10 extra missiles.
And he still could go get those missiles at the back of Gauntlet if he wants to make it a little more comfortable.
Theoretically.
I don't know that you would. I mean, if it was supers back there, then for sure. Meanwhile, Ponk finishing up Phantoon, making this awfully close. But his ammo situation is a lot worse. Well, okay,
yeah.
maybe not a lot worse. He's got 55 missiles, but... okay, 55-50 versus 60-50, but Ponk has checked more the close locations.
Yeah, and Ponk has to get back to the ship, which... Actually... This is really close. I don't know.
He does have this location here. I forget what was here. Just a regular
just
missile pack.
Yeah, he needs a little bit more. And he doesn't know where it is, unlike Zeb, who knows, or well, doesn't know yet, but is about to get enough. Chat bringing up a good question. What do you call the room that Main Street missiles are?
I call it Main Street myself, but...
Yeah, I've heard some of the underground players call it Main Street, but don't think it has any official name. And that is ammo go mode for Zeb. And one missile from ammo go mode for Ponk. I wonder what he decides to check if he wants to go through Gauntlet.
Well, 70-50 being a lot less comfortable than 65-55.
Yes,
could
but
check
at
right
this
here
point,
power bombs. We'll see if he does that.
With the race as close as it is, you don't really have much room for comfort.
No, you really don't.
Ponk has to refill too. Well, so does Zeb.
Oh, they both
Ponks will take longer because Zeb?
Oh, he did get these missiles earlier. He's gonna grab these.
Okay.
Probably gonna grab these instead of grabbing the ones at the back of Gauntlet.
Okay, 70-55 is decent. And Zeb will have to refill his ammo. But his refill will actually take less time because Ponk had to refill all his health.
Yep.
So that is something to keep note of, because this is coming down to the wire. This could come down to baby skip, really. Also, whatever this item is, if this is a super missile, which it is, that is really good for Ponk. If that was like a power bomb, he would have to go through Ponk.
Terrible.
Take a lot longer. But as it stands, he is just barely behind Zeb.
Okay.
And this run could come down to the wire, depending on baby skip.
So Zeb's gonna go with 70-55. Ponk gonna go with 65-55. Those are pretty good totals. gives both of them enough that they don't have to refill after opening the doors. Although I suspect, at the very least, if they don't get baby skip, what I would do then is at least use missiles to open the first red door.
Yeah, even if they get baby skip, refilling missiles wouldn't be a bad idea.
No,
I think
it wouldn't.
Ponk has to, actually. Not totally sure. No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. Because 55-55 is that minimum where you still have to refill. And they got to make sure they have the full supers coming out of these Metroid rooms.
Yeah, that could also be a difference maker, theoretically, if somebody gets the bad drops. And we see Ponk. He's got space jump, which is nice at this point.
He also has bombs, which could save him a little bit of time if Zeb just ends up getting grabbed.
Metroid Room 2, nice and safe, is actually using nothing but missiles, while Zeb is using supers. I say that, and then he switches to supers for Room 3, and luckily gets all his supers back.
I suspect both of them will use group these last 3 Metroids and use regular missiles. Oh, no, Zeb decides to use a super, takes a chance. Well, he's got a little more leeway. Okay, they both have full ammo.
Saves him a little bit of time. Because Ponk doesn't get the deboost off the ring. Zeb is just a few seconds ahead coming into baby skip. I hope they both get it, really. This is either both of them get it or neither get it, because I want to see this stay close. They don't have wave beam.
No, it's going to make this baby skip a lot harder for both of them and a lot slower.
They're both still going for it. It's looking like Ponk is having a better time clearing the brushes away. And, of course, at a very critical time, we no longer have Ponk's internet.
Oof.
Well, that looks good. Like the position he's in right now, but we won't know for a bit.
And Zeb taking a save. I mean, I understand it, but God, you know, your opponent hasn't done yet. I think I might just go for it in this situation. And if you're wondering why he's using supers on the red doors here, super is going to cost you 300 HP of damage. 5 missiles is going to cost you 500. So if you're not planning on refilling, you always want to use supers there.
Yeah, each super missile is worth 3 missiles. So he still has plenty of ammo. And it takes 5 missiles to open the door. So it's actually more efficient to use supers, like you just...
Okay. It looks like he's got a leeway of 10 missiles here. So this is pretty comfortable for Zeb, I think.
Yeah, of course, theoretically, if Ponk does the same thing and doesn't refill, he'll have a leeway of 5 missiles, which is a little bit less ideal, but Ponk is very comfortable. He shouldn't miss any. But we'll see what he decides to do, because we are currently unable to see him at all. And Zeb has pre-type .done, it would seem. Ponk does need to remember he doesn't have Varia, by the way.
Yeah, that is a thing. We've seen that. We've seen runners do that before. Damage themselves down a little bit too much.
Apparently, Ponk's stream is not back yet. This is not ideal. As we see multiple people in chat make the same joke at the same time.
Yep.
Because we are a hilarious and original community. Okay, apparently Ponk's stream is back. And we don't know where if the streams are synced.
Yeah, because when at one of the points when we lost the stream, we also lost Ponk's timer.
Well, apparently, judging by SRL, his PC crashed, so he probably didn't bother setting up his timer again.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Like, no, you're not gonna. In a race, you just want to get yourself going again so you can keep playing. You're not gonna worry about a timer.
Well, we're just gonna have to judge off .duns, really.
Yeah, it's the only thing we can do.
It's really unfortunate that has to be a little bit anticlimactic.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but we're gonna have to figure out whether they're even gonna be able to play game 2. Because if Punk's having that much trouble with his PC, I wouldn't blame him if he would opt to decide to just postpone game 2 for later.
Yeah, Ponk's crash only affected his PC. It didn't affect his console, but it does make it harder to track.
It's just added stress.
Harder to stream.
As close as this race is, it could be the difference. Just having to deal with the computer crashes.
Yeah, I've definitely been in that situation. I think in the first season of the Rando League, I was racing Zost. You know, Zosty, great runner, does a lot of dumb things in Rando. You know how it is.
Yep.
And obviously I didn't know what had happened, but my internet crashed, or not crashed, but went down in the middle of a race, and I ended up finally fixing my stream in Lower Norfair and then dying to Ridley. And it turns out if I was kind of panicked and didn't save, and if I had saved, I would have won because Zosi just didn't check under the powerbomb bridge and didn't get charged.
Oh boy.
It was really unfortunate, but what can you do?
Yeah,
I did fine in that season anyways. Well,
and Zeb does finish up.
Have
Official
Zeb
SRL time of 107.14. The GG's to Zeb, and Ponk shortly behind him. We'll see when his .done comes in.
He might have forgotten a .done. Actually, he didn't. He saved the animals. I lied. Never change, Ponk. And yeah, judging by that .done time, the streams were still pretty synced up, and so I'm not sure what happened to Ponk, but maybe he took maybe he didn't get Zeb skip, or just took a missile refill anyways, and it cost him. But yeah, he is going to finish shortly behind.
He's going to finish his official SR time of 108.09, and Ponk says, yeah, he's not going to want to do the next one, and I don't blame him. Yeah, it was a really, really close rate. And we got to see the credits here for that. See what that charge beam was.
Yep. There aren't many places it can be.
Nope, not. We have waterway, we have the wreck ship items, and we have plasma, and that's all we have left.
Yeah, and 2 of those were E-tanks. 1 was charge, and 1 was wave. So we will see. This is actually a pretty nice ammo distribution seed. 431 is decent. And they found a lot of power bombs, actually. So, you know. Like, I think they found most of the power bombs that were in the seed. Okay, so Charge Beam was at Gravity.
Okay. And Wave Beam at Plasma. That's pretty much
Speaking of somebody who didn't check Gravity, we've got our winner, Zeb316. GG, how you feeling about that one?
GG, Zeb.
I didn't feel super great about it. It sounds like Ponk had a lot of PC issues and whatnot, and he probably would have crushed me otherwise. So, not really sure how to feel about that.
Yeah, it's really hard to say because we missed the pieces where he was having the PC issues. Because of course he was having PC issues. But it was close throughout. He gambled on lower Norfair without Barrier. So which turned out to work out well, yeah.
Because once I full cleared Croc, I saw Gravity, High Jump, Grapple Beam, like crap tons of E-Tanks. I thought, I thought there was a really good chance that he would have gone for Suitless Lower Norfair. So.
Yeah, and you want to talk about that wreck ship? So, a little surprised you dipped out so quickly. Turned out to be a good decision since you were able to find enough ammo and not have charge, and of course it wasn't a suit up there.
Well, when I go meme route into wreck ship, going into wreck ship first isn't that much slower when you go through meme route than going down to Norfair first. So I like going to wreck ship, and I like not checking the top unless I have speed, because the top's only one item without speed.
Right.
It is kind of nice to have the knowledge of the second item, but after the first two, I was even considering not checking wreck ship E-Tank, but thought that would be a little bit too risky.
Yeah, and that actually there's a fair point to that one because you do have to do the tricky sponge bath power bomb strat there, but you got that pretty quickly, and you had grapple beam to get across.
Yeah,
so it's not so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like that was a pretty slow seed overall. I think that doing the lower Norfair without Varia probably would have paid off for Ponk if his PC hadn't crashed. He said that he died during one of the hell runs during a PC crash. So
yeah, it was really rough for him. But like I said, it's just we couldn't see everything that was going on because of the PC crashes. Certainly not a safe thing to do with that many E-Tanks. He was pretty okay, but yeah, it just you just hate to see that happen. You absolutely hate to see that happen. I think it's the right call for him, for you guys not to play game 2. That way you can go ahead and he can get his PC issues fixed up, and we can have hopefully a better situation for game 2 and potentially a game 3.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this matchup. Should be a lot of fun. I think Ponk is a bit better than I am, but I think that it's fun to play against people like that, people who are really good at Rando like he is. So
yeah, absolutely. All right, so anything else either of you guys want to add before we call it a night?
Nah.
Okay then, so we don't have, obviously you guys haven't scheduled up. I know you will get that taken care of as soon as you can. We do have one other quarterfinal scheduled. We have Kip versus Rasu, and that'll be all 3 games starting at 7 o'clock Eastern on Monday, December 23rd. Waiting on Cross Product and Slaughter to get their match schedule. I'm sure that'll happen very shortly as we get further on into the Randomizer League playoffs. Also, let's see what else is coming up on this channel. Okay, so I don't know all this. There's a Chrysalis randomizer coming up here at 10 o'clock, and a whole lot of Link to the Past randomizer coming up tonight. Don't know. It looks like there's still a lot of undecided Link to the Past randomizer tournament action going on tonight. I think they're waiting to get crews and stuff. So, we'll see. So definitely tune in for all of that. Lots of stuff going on Speed Gaming. And I'd like to thank everybody. First of all, Derp for joining me at the last minute for commentary. Always a pleasure, Derp.
Yeah. I mean, I was planning on doing it most of the day, and then I realized like an hour ago or an hour before the race that I just didn't say anything. So my beat.
And to Ponk and Zeb for putting on a really good race. That was really fun to watch. And to Mind and me for setting things up in the background, and all the SG people for helping us out and allowing us to showcase the talent we have here for Super Metroid Randomizer, and of course all of you for tuning in with chat. All right, so that will do it for us. And so, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you may be.